Alright guys, welcome back. This is the second part of the video, which is the practical part. This is the fun bit. So if you can find your piece of rope, okay, it doesn't have to be a long one. This is basically just, about 2 meters bit of rope. You can find this is where you're going to use this rope for a lot of things. Use your arm, or if you've got a pole or a ruler, or something that you can tie a knot around, you do that. You can get that, and we'll show you. Okay, so let's show. The requirement is that you need to know from memory 20 knots. Okay, so you ready? You're going to go for 20 knots, marathon, 20 knots in half an hour. Here we go. Right, so the first one is a simple one, and there it's S. It's called the slip knot. Okay, slip knot. I would use a slip knot. Slip knot is basically used for if you have a bag and you want to tie the end of a bag, right? You want to tie, the bag is open, and you want to tie the end of the bag together. You use a slip knot. So simple. Remember, what is this called? This is the running end. Remember, running end. Okay, so slip knot is easy. What you do is you take this part, okay, you wrap it around your hand so that the running end is in front of the standing end. Okay, so I'm standing here, right? This is my running end, and it goes in front of that. You see that? In front of that. And once it's in front of that, you reach your hand through and you pull the standing end through that loop. Did you see that? Let's do it again. Okay, running end. Put the running end in front of the standing end. Okay, remember the loop. You go and you reach. You reach and pull the standing end through that loop. Okay, that makes your slip knot. Okay, hope you got that. You can rewind that and check it again. So that's number one, your slip knot. Okay, now second one we want to do is what it's called a square knot. You got it? It's a square knot. Okay, what do we use a square knot for? A square knot is if you want to tie a parcel together, right? Square knots are sometimes used for first aiders when they tie somebody's arm in a sling. They'll use a square knot. So square knot is very, very simple. And here's the rhyme. Here's the rhyme. Okay, you need to remember that. It's left over right, right, and then right over left. Okay, you got that? Left over right, then right over left. So here it goes. Left hand, not that left, the other left. Okay, good. Left hand, you put it over the right hand. Got it? Okay, so left over right, you make your twist. Okay, and then this is right, you bring it over left, and you make your twist, and then you pull it all together. Okay, that's your square knot. Now, the third knot we're going to do is called the figure of 8 knot. Okay, simple. When you finish the knot, it needs to look like an 8, a figure of 8, right? You know what an 8 looks like. So here we go. So you make a bight. Remember, this one is a bight, right? Okay, you take the running end, bring it to the front of the standing end, take it to the back, bring it back to the front, you pull it up, push it through the loop, grab it, and then what? You pull it tight. Yes? That's your figure of 8. And if you look closely, if you can zoom in, it looks like a figure of 8. Okay? So that's your figure of 8. Now, let's do, you call your double bow. Remember what your square knot looks like, right? Square knot, remember, it was right over left, left over right. Now, those of you who perhaps struggle with tying your shoes, the double bow is the one to tie your shoes with. Now, instead of, remember your square knot, you had 2 ends, okay? You just had your 2 ends, but just single ropes that you tie together. The double bow is what you want you to do is make 2 bights, right? One in this side, one on this side, right? You see it? Got 2 bights. You grab it. Now you do a square knot, but now you're doing with 2 ropes, square knot. So it's left over right, yes, and then right over left, and that is your double bow, okay? Your double bow. Same as a square knot, but you're using a bight at the end with 2 pieces, the 2 pieces of rope together. That is your double bow. How many have we done now? So you've done a slip knot, you've done a square knot, right? You've done what? A double bow. You've done a figure of 8 knot. You've got 4 in the bag already. Let me show called a bowline. A bowline. Now, what's a bowline used for? Bowline is used for when you go climbing, and you want to go abseiling, you would tie a bowline. Or if you want to pull something really heavy, you would tie a bowline around your waist in order to pull something really heavy. And it's a very useful knot. Now, a bowline is very simple. Running end, okay? Running end, you do a loop, is in front of your standing end, okay? You create a little hole. Now, if you look at it like that, looks like that, okay? So what I'm trying to do is, remember this is your fox. Your fox comes out of your hole, around the tree, and back into the hole. Do you see that? Okay? See that? Here's your fox. Comes out, goes around the tree, and he goes back into the hole. Remember, you still need to hold on to your running end. You pull these 2 and you pull your running end together, and that creates your bowline. Now there's a fast way of doing it that I used to learn in Pathfinders. If you tie it around your waist, and you just go 1, 2, 3, 4, and you create your bowline like that. A faster way of doing it, but you don't have to do that. Once you learn the bowline, we used to do it, and it just does it effectively like that. Let's go for a surgeon's knot. The surgeon's knot is also very simple. Surgeon's knot is the same, very similar to a square knot. Remember a square knot? That left over right, right over left, right? But here's a twist to this. Remember your square knot, you go left over right, yes, but you do another one, left over right, another twist, okay? Now you look like that. Now you go right over left, and what? You get it, looks like a square knot, and you pull it together, and that's what your surgeon's knot look like. Got it? Good. Now we're going to do a lark's head. All right, a lark head. Now you know what a lark is? Lark is a bird, right? Sings a beautiful lark. Lark sings a lark's head. Lark's head, very similar, and you've got to make this around a pole. So here's my arm. I'm going to use my arm as a pole today, okay? It's very simple lark's head knot. Now, 2 ends to the rope, right? Remember? What you're doing is you take your rope, 2 ends to the rope. What you to do is put the 2 ends in front of your arm. You push it through your loop. Okay, push it through your loop. Remember, it looks like that. Now what you do is you pull that tight, and that creates your lark's head. Got that? Good. Okay, guys, now we're going to show you a interesting knot, or a hitch. Remember we talked about when you do a knot around an object or a pole, it's called a hitch. So we're going to do a clove hitch. Now a clove hitch is used as a starter knot in order to do lashings or lash a few poles together to build a structure. Now, you always start with the clovage. Wire clovage is very tight. It doesn't slip in case your lashings come apart. So clovage is this. You take an object, take a pole, you use your arm to show this. Okay, so you take your running end. Your running end does a turn like that, right? You then take another turn, but you cross over the standing part of your rope, okay? Right, and you do another turn, and when you come around the second time, remember it takes like a cross, you push it underneath the cross like that, and you pull it down tightly. Yes, you got that? That's a clove hitch. The next one we're going to do is the butterfly loop knot, or alpine knot, okay? Butterfly loop knot, alpine knot. Now, very easy, very simple, okay? Take your hand, running end, you take a turn, you do another turn, and you do another turn, right? You got that? So you should see 3 turns like that. Standing end, running, hanging here. Now, when you see that, you go and you take the middle one. See, there's a middle one. You take it underneath the first one, pull it through. Okay, it's a loop now. You take it over that, right? Over all of the ropes, underneath it, and you pull that. You pull it very tightly. Does that make sense? I hope you've seen that. Okay, now it can look like that, or you can hold the 2 like that, and it should look like that, right? That is your butterfly loop knot or alpine knot. All right, let's look at our, remember we did a bowline? Now we're going to do a bowline on a bight. It's called a bowline on a bight. Now you can see it, it's in your worksheet there that you need to do. Now, remember the bowline, remember the fox that goes around the hole? Now, the difference is that it's a bowline on a bight. Remember what a bight is? Bight is a curve, right? So, now what I want you to do is your 2 ends, you bring your bottom standing end to the front of your rope. Okay, so it should look like that. Got it? It looks like that. It looks like that. You take Mr. Fox. He comes out of the hole. He doesn't go around the tree. He goes out. And when this is hanging, see this one? Now you reach into this hole there, and you pull those 2 together, you know, through the hole. But now what you must know is that this one will take it right up to there, okay? And it should look, you pull this down. Wow, sorry, here we go. You pull this one down and it should look like that. Let's go and do 2 similar ones, which is called the sheet bend. All right, the sheet bend. Sheet bend is an interesting one. Okay, so you're going to take 2 ends, right? 2 ends. One, you're going to make another bight onto it, so it looks like that. Okay, I'm going to make it a little bit smaller so you can see it better and it works better. Okay, so fox comes out, fox goes around the structure and he goes in front of his tail. Okay, not around his tail, doesn't go in the back of his tail, he goes in front of his tail. All right, and then you pull those 2 together. Got it? Right.